Hi everybody, this second video with report cards and Power Teacher Pro, and there's a few things I want you to check and make sure everything's working okay in your gradebook. So here we have a report card here. We're going to be flipping back and forth so you can see where the marks are reflected in the report card, how it looks in Power Teacher Pro, how it looks in the report card. Okay, so let's take a look at a teacher here that has assignments, as you can see. And then if I go into, first thing we want to do is make sure that we are in Q1. So that is a really important part of this. Q1 will be located right here. Whatever you put in Q1 or whatever is generated in Q1 is going to show up right here on the report card. Right, see if I can find it here. So this might, for example, this might be your course right here. That Q1 grade is going to show up in that term one right there. That's where it's going to go. Okay, so that's number one. So let's go back to the Power Teacher Pro. We're in Q1. We got that set up. And the first thing I'm going to make sure that you have this is we're going to go into settings, make sure this is turned on. So we're going to go to display settings, click there. And we want to make sure that your show standards page and links is turned on. That needs to be turned on. So please make sure that that's turned on. That'll help you with a report card. Okay, so once that's turned on, let's go back into your grading. We're going to go to standards. And the first thing that you're going to see in the standards is the mark. This is that Q1 mark that we keep talking about. Q1, there it is. And you'll notice that there's a percentage that will pull properly from your gradebook, however you have it set up in your Q1. The problem that we ran into, though, and this is the division office had it set as a B, C, D, F scale. And then when you started putting your marks in, it started calculating those marks like that. Not a problem. We can fix that. So to check that, I want you to just click on here. And you'll notice that it has not a valid number here, C minus. We need to get rid of that so it can pull into the report card. Very easy to do. And if you watch this, it's quite easy to do. So again, we're going to go up here to the gear right there. We're going to click on that, and then we want to recalculate final grades. Unfortunately, this is a read-only page for me, so whatever I do here won't be reflected. This teacher will have to do this, recalculate the grades. And once you hit that recalculate grades, let's see if it works. It may, yeah, it doesn't let me do it because I don't have the editing rights here. Make sure you're on traditional final grades and then click OK. And that should do the trick. So let's go back. Again, this is a read only, so I won't see it. The teacher will see two marks here, or a percentage and a grade, and that will work in the report card. So just keep that in mind when you're doing that. So hopefully that makes sense. Let me know if you're having any issues with that, but that's the first part that we have to do with our Power Teacher Pro. Okay, now let's move into some of the other areas of the report card. So we put in a mark. Now we're going to talk about comments. So that's right in here. We're going to talk, where do we put in the comments? So let's go back into that area, and let's take a look at how we do comments. So right here, now once you do your changes, and this is what it'll look like, you'll have 2 marks there, you won't have that letter grade. We can actually just go right into that grade area, click on that box, and you'll notice that a comment box shows here. I have created a video tutorial on how to do comments. If you want a bigger box here for typing, you can go right up in here, click there, and then you got a larger box. Of course, you can create a comment bank for all your comments. Again, that's in that video that are created earlier. Okay, so that's where you put your comments. If I were to type something in here, does it let me type? Yes, I can type a few things. You'll notice a blue box will show up there for your comments. Okay, let's move on to the next column here. These are the learning behaviors. So this is personal management skills, and then active participation in learning. This one happens to be social responsibility, and there's an IEP there. So let's take a look where those are located on the report card. So quickly zip up here. So we talked about comments. I'm just going to clear those out so you can get a sense of where everything is here. Okay, so first off, we are in term 1. This is the grade that goes here. We talked about the comments. Now let's look at learning behaviors, term 1. So here is where those would all fit, right in there. those three columns that we were just talking about on Power Teacher Pro. That's where those would fit there. These local options are not part of the report card. This is just a template. And you'll notice that there's also an IEP here. So when you if you decide to click for the IEP, that'll turn that on. Okay, so let's take a look. We'll zip back in here. So if I go into this column here, you'll see the CUSR shows up. And then you can click on one of those. It'll put a C in. Again, of course, you can also fill that. So if you need to fill that in, you know most of these are going to be C's. You can just click that fill. It'll fill the C's in for you. You can also, we'll go okay. You can also override those and change that to a U if you know that student's a U. Okay. And then you can do that for the next columns. Here's the IEP. It's just a simple click for the students that have an IEP. Simple as that. Okay, one thing I will mention to you, and this is important for high school teachers, especially in doing phys ed, there are some special codes that you need to know for these particular classes. And I'm just going to show you where those are located. So if I click on that Q1 where the score is, where you would score it, you'll notice that there's a special box here called codes. So I'm just going to click on codes, and here's your CO. That means complete, incomplete, and then no exam and not marked. I think those are what those mean. If you're not too sure, it's in the report card right here, right up in here. I'm just going to clear that. Ouch. Here are the codes right there that we're talking about. CO, so that's a course complete. Here's a course incomplete. No exam applies, and no mark for this school-based final exam or provincial test where applicable. So I'm not too sure where you would use these codes, but I do know these particular ones are for phys ed, and I'll let you use your professional judgment on how that works in your particular case. Okay, and I think that's all we have for those report cards. Okay, thanks a lot for listening, everybody. Have a great day. Bye-bye.